I realized I never followed up with everybody about New Year's resolutions, and I have noticed a lot of people have decided not to. I'm all for it. I'm here for it. Society has enough expectations on us as is. If you're one of those people, more power to you. I'm not, and I have a little bit of anxiety after having quit my job and starting from home with my business and my husband providing all of our income. So it's a little terrifying. However, I am very thrifty and I come from a very thrifty family. And while going to the thrift store on Sunday, I found this book from 1943. It's a cookbook. It's called The American Woman's Cookbook. And my grandmother survived the Great Depression, and she passed down how to be thrifty with your cooking and how to cook from scratch. So I plan to only eat what I have in this house. For time's sake, I've taken everything out of my freezer so that we can kind of take stock of what I have. I have a lot of ground beef. If you're familiar, and steak, if you're familiar with grocery ads cycling, pretty much they're on a 6-week rotation where you'll get 1 week they'll do pork on sale, 1 week they'll do chicken, 1 week they'll do ground beef. So what you do is you buy in excess for those items that are on sale, because knowing that you're going to need them later in the week. So, or later in the month. So I also have redfish that my husband and I caught. This one was frozen, 10/13/24. We really need to use it soon. It looks like trout, maybe more redfish. Not sure. There's no telling what that is. I've got chicken thighs, chicken sausage, chicken breast, turkey thighs, pork, bacon, deer ham, all these things. And here's the inventory of the fresh food I have. I have some green onions, some bell peppers that are well on their way out. I've got 12 of 18 eggs, 3 tomatoes, 3 apples, some grape tomatoes, menial amount of berries. I have 2 oranges, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pomegranates, 1 yogurt, 2 lemons. Good bit of frozen vegetables. One of these is going into the pot pie I'm making tonight. I've sent my aunt a request for my grandmother's pie shell recipe, and I'm going to make that later. Pretty good bit of almond milk. Not much, 2% milk. A whole pound of butter, thank goodness. Good bit of mayonnaise. Almost full sour cream. Some caramel sauce. Frozen peanut butter and chocolate chip cookie dough I make so the kids can just reheat up the oven. I've got a variety of cheeses. So I just got done inventorying all the food I have. And I feel like a real McAsshole right now because going into this, I was panicking. Like, oh my gosh, how am I going to survive without going to the grocery store? Let me tell you how we will. I have 26 pounds of a variety of different meats in my freezer. I have over 10 pounds of flour, plenty of sugar. I've got an unlimited, a literally unlimited amount of rice. The home we bought, a lady who happened to be of the Mormon faith, had a whole entire year or 2 supply of food. And we have it. We went through it and got rid of what wasn't good, but we have enough rice and beans to feed probably our whole town for a few months. I have plenty of molasses, cocoa powder, wheat flour, quinoa. I've got tons of yeast. I've got dry peas, tons of dry beans, cream of mushroom soup, cream of chicken, cream of potato, canned tomatoes. I've got 3 of those, 4 cans of applesauce, 1 can of pinto beans, a can of cream corn, a can of cold potatoes, a can of refried beans, a can of evaporated milk, vegetable stock, tomato soup, creamy tomato soup. I've got a box of linguine, a half of a box of 2 pounds mac and cheese or macaroni shells, a half of a box of a 2-pound box of spaghetti, 1 can of fruit cocktail, 1 small can of carrots, about 38 ounces of oatmeal, 40 ounces of raisins. I've got probably 5 gallons of canola oil. I've got 2 nearly brand new things of olive oil. I have a pound of butter. I have plenty of frozen vegetables. I have plenty of fruit. I have plenty of everything when I think about it. When I can consider other people on this planet and what they have to work with, I'm literally working with a whole grocery store. Why was I going to go grocery shopping this weekend or this week? Why? Why am I going to go next week? Okay, we have just finished our lunch, the twins and I. They're 17. So I made homemade pita bread, and I used pita pockets and made tuna salad sandwiches. We three split the orange, and we all had some pomegranate seeds for lunch. With a little bit of leftover pita bread, so we all had an extra piece. So pretty successful lunch today, and I wanted to try to shed some light on why I decided to do this goal. It's kind of in answer to a larger goal I have, and that is, to be able to have private practice and work from home, but it does take a while to build up your clientele. And I also have some other stuff I do on the side, but I'm not making as much as I was working for an agency as an adolescent therapist. So it has really made me feel very insecure. And I wanted to try to cut corners where I can. And normally I budget $225 a week, $225 a week for groceries, which we normally go well over that because someone will want to have a snack, or let's make sundaes, or let's go out to eat. So kind of closer to 300. Something really interesting to note is that in part of this video, you see me really get upset with myself over how much food I have. That is called comparative suffering. And what it is I felt that I had no right to feel anxiety about my income and cutting corners and being worried that I wouldn't be able to afford to stay home. So in that portion of the video where I talk about that and I kind of have a little rant, it's easy to do that. A lot of us will think, oh, why would I have the right to be upset? A lot of us feel that way, and we don't honor our own journey. Yeah, I know that I have a lot of privilege living in the US and having this much food in my pantry, but I also have anxiety about being home, and that anxiety is not going to go away if I continue to ignore it and continue to suppress it. It's still going to boil up in my life. It may not be the same level of anxiety that other people endure, and it's certainly not as high of an anxiety I have personally endured in the past. So regardless of your journey, stress is stress, anxiety is anxiety. No, it may not be as rough as your friend, your neighbor, but it doesn't mean that it's not a valid issue for you that you should work on. So I've made my menu. I have not finished until tomorrow. All I have is today's. I have some buttermilk. I know this is about to go out of date. And so breakfasts are going to be overnight oatmeal and buttermilk pancakes. I'll freeze those pancakes. And then the twins can warm them up if they want to. Lunch, still only got the tuna salad with the pitas and the pomegranate seeds. Dinner tonight's going to be chicken pot pie. And then our snack, the frozen cookie dough that I had in the video, I'm gonna make probably a dozen of those, and we'll all four share them, my husband, the twins, and I.